All right, so we're recording. So Delilah, actually, thank you for meeting with me, and we actually know each other. But right now we're going to do a role play and about money objection because that's what comes up a lot when it comes to coaching, and even if you're not a coach, any other businesses, money objections comes up a lot. So, and Delilah is going to play this with me, and hopefully it goes well, and then I can upload this on YouTube. So cross my fingers. So Delilah, so I have this group coaching program, and it's $700 just $700 for 90 days. And what you get from it is you'll get to launch your program, your business, and you will learn how to build your email list, learn how to have a conversation to convert from potential clients to high ticket clients. So how does this seem to you?
It sounds great. I'm, not sure I can afford it right now, but I'd like to do it in the future.
Well, thank you for your honesty and your courage in expressing how you feel right now and what's going on with you. Can I ask you a few questions?
Sure.
So, if money wasn't an issue, would you continue to work with me?
Um, yeah,
Okay.
yes, I would. I think so. Yes.
So, can I tell you a time when was fearful of money and I didn't know where it was coming from?
Yes.
So, when I started university, I didn't have a job. My mom and my stepfather didn't have the money to pay for my tuition, and I didn't qualify for a student loan because they made too much but still couldn't afford to pay for my tuition. And in my world, I was so fearful of not living on the streets. In my mind, if I don't get a degree, I'm going to be living on the streets. And that was just something that I was determined not to have. However, so I did graduate with a double major in mathematics and computer science. And I did make it work that I actually paid for my tuition. And not only that, on top of that, I graduated with zero debt. And my first employer out of university, they were so impressed with my determination and my creativity that I actually got a young executive salary on the get go. I moved from Canada all the way to Bermuda, making at a hedge fund company. So, what does this story, my story, um, say to you?
Well, I'm very impressed with what you did. That's awesome. I don't, my situation's very different, so I don't totally relate to that story, but I'm very impressed with what you did.
Yeah. Well, I know a little bit about you. Can you just tell the audience a little bit about you? I know you used to manage or teach people comedy to build connection and joy. Can you just say a little bit about you, a bit more?
Yeah, I have run theaters,
Hmm.
several theaters, and I do a lot of musical comedy shows with an uplifting message. And of course, all of that got shut down during the pandemic. And so now I'm really more focusing on my private coaching, which I also love to do. But so it's a little bit different focus for me than I'm used to doing.
Okay.
And my income got, really impacted by the pandemic. I'm one of those people.
Yeah, and so I see you as a person who make things happen. You're one of the very few people who I've met who does theater and teach people how to be in theater and be themselves. So, what is what do you think you your greatest quality when you were in that high zone in that very area where you did really well? Like, how would you describe yourself?
What a interesting question. Um, I think that I have the ability to really see who people are, what their essence is. And
Mhm.
then I help bring that out, and they can apply it to whether they're leading a team or if they're have to give a presentation. Or I love to help people with job interviews, so they can get more, relaxed and confident. It's really just about presenting yourself who you really are, and just relax into that, and then people can connect with you easier. And that's my favorite thing to do.
It's creating connection
I
and
mean, I really do that when I'm putting a show on too, the way work with the team, the cast,
mhm.
how they connect with each other and then how they connect with the audience. And so I just take a lot of those skills and tools and teach them to business people, because I've also had my own business for 25 years. So I understand what that's like.
Okay. Can you hear anything in the background by any chance?
Me?
Yes.
No? What's going
Okay.
on?
Uh, I forgot to lock my bathroom door. So my son, who's home from school right now, who's has just came in and barged into the room. I'm like, can you hear that?
I didn't hear
I
it.
didn't
And
hear
so
it.
you help people. You said you help them with an job interview and to gain money and
Mhm.
to, be leaders. So how, I'm kind of lost on this one. This was not I'm not prepared.
I
uh,
was not either.
yeah. So let me see. Okay.
Can you pause it?
I will try to pause it. Well, I had paused and come back because I just lost my train of thought because my son, you can't hear it, but I could hear him slamming the toilet and flushing and slamming the bathroom door. So I lost my concentration. Well, thank you, Delilah, for allowing me to come back in and pause and all that stuff. So it seems like you are in a world of, two worlds where there's a part of you says, yes, I want to um, start launching my program, my business, and yet there's the money issue. So do you mind if we can discuss both sides of it?
Sure.
Okay, so let's start with the no side, the one that says, I can't afford it right now. What does this part want most for you?
Mm, the part that says I can't afford it, what does it most want?
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. Um, I suppose to be able to afford it, or to feel like I think like me and a lot of people, especially right now, I'm a risk taker, or else I wouldn't have had my own business for 25 years. So I don't mind taking a risk, but I feel a little hesitant about risky financial things right now.
Can you tell me more? Because it seems like you're a risk taker because you were a business owner before and a really successful one. So how is this different this time?
Well, I think, kind of with the pandemic, the rug kind of got pulled out from underneath me. And
Mm.
I don't really have a cushion like I like to have, a safety net. So I'm just kind of out there rowing my little rowboat
Okay.
with no life jacket.
Yeah, I get that. A lot of people have that feeling of the rug being pulled from underneath them. And, now more than ever, people have the need to have a cushion. So let me just delve a little bit further into it. And you said that you just want a cushion. What else is this part of you afraid of?
Um, just, there's a lot of different ways I could spend that money. Just wanting to make sure this is the right way to spend it.
Okay.
That the value, like this is what I really need to do.
Okay. So you have a lot of expenses or a lot of things that you could spend the $700, and you want to make sure that this would be the one that would get your results or give you the best value for your money, I assume. So is there anything else this part of you want? What else is it longing for? It sounds like it wants to know how it's going to turn out. You want to be able to predict things the way they should be or want to be, because you don't like things to be pulled out or you don't have a cushion. Is there something else that you're longing for?
Longing for? Yeah, I'd like to have a house on Martha's Vineyard.
Where do you live? Are you leaving the East Coast?
and an off-Broadway show. No, really. I mean, I think what I just said about the money, that's
Okay.
that's the nugget of it, probably.
And so what support do you need right now?
It just in relation to this decision, you
Mm-hmm.
mean?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you could tell me a little bit more about what's in it for me, like now that you know a little bit more about my story, like how do you see this could help me?
Okay, so what I do is it's not exactly the same as other business coaching. It is an element of, when I talk about building an email list, I'm talking about you nurturing relationships because you're a great communicator and you are so used to talking one-on-one with people, and that's how you gain your clients. Is that how I see it, Delilah?
Yeah, often they would come to a show or
Mm,
to one of my classes, and then they would want to get to know me more. And then I would meet them one-on-one, and then they would want to work with me further.
okay. So what I teach is the online version of that. Basically, building an email list is you communicating a mass of people all at once, thousands of people, hundreds of people all at once. And if they want to connect with you, you can have in your email, they can click on a scheduler, Calendly, Acuity, whatever it's your choice. And then you can have a one-on-one. So whatever you do naturally that you were doing before in your previous business, you bring that online, and the results are much faster because you're reaching people on a weekly basis. You teach them some tools and tips when it comes to creating great interviews or leading a team or creating connection. You have a lot to teach because you've had how many years in
25.
25 years. So you have a lot of material. And there's something that you haven't done before is that you can also sell little mini programs within your email list that way as well. That's what I help you do. And if you also choose to build a Facebook group, I can teach you that as well in the program. And there's also we refine your conversion from potential client to your high-ticket clients. So does that support you enough, or is there anything else you would like to know?
Do you feel like you could guarantee that I could make back my investment in your program?
I cannot.
Or by a certain amount of time?
Well, the reason I can't guarantee that you are going to make your investment back, but I do say that my clients who've been dedicated have had greater success. So it's basically how much of a dedication, how much you're willing to put into it would be reflected on how your results are going to be. This launch your business thing that I am talking about, this 90-day, is you'll get the tips and tools, And it might take a little bit longer than 90 days to refine your approach to your ideal clients. However, you'll get all the tips and tools within the 90 days, and you can refine it later on. I can't guarantee that you'll make your money back. I just cannot do that.
Well, it sounds good and good timing for me. Could you send me an email and just really list everything that would be covered? You know, how long is it? Is it, you say 6 months?
I said 90 days.
90 days for $700. If
It's a
you
group program.
could email me, what's the program called?
Launch your business.
Launch your business. Oh, that's great. If you could send me an email, just, you know, like what all would be covered in that 90 days. And then I will get back to you. Today's Tuesday. I will get back to you by tomorrow at, if you send it to me today, I'll get back to you tomorrow by noon.
All right. Do you have any other questions? Is there another part of it I should address? Because we talked about the no part, and I wonder if there's a yes part you would like to address. Or are you all set right now?
No, I feel pretty complete with it for now.
Okay. Well, great. Thank you for participating, Delilah. I'm just going to end the recording now. Just a moment.